Now, can we do something very quickly? Can we do something very quickly? I'm going to put a link here. In case you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please feel free to do so right away. So I'm going to give us a minute. If you've not joined our YouTube channel, if you've not subscribed, now can we do something very so I'm putting the link up there in the chat room. Please kindly click on the link and go to YouTube. Just click on subscribe, and then you're done and you're back to class. Okay, it's not going to take you away from class anyway. Okay, your class will still be on. All right, just go to YouTube with the link posted, and then okay, so I have to repost the link. So just click on YouTube, the link there, and then click on subscribe, and then you're back to class. Now, with the YouTube, you can always watch the class over and over again. Okay, you can always review the class. Okay, for those who often ask us, how do I get a recorded version or how do I get a backup? You can always use the YouTube to do that. Right, okay. That being said, we're back to class. Please ensure to subscribe. All right, strategy consulting and strategic planning. Okay, so when you're done subscribing, just type done in the chat room. If you've subscribed before, just type done. If you just subscribe now, just type done in the chat room so that we can. Okay. All right, thank you. Now, strategy consulting in the what will guide our discussion today. The learning objective, we're going to highlight the importance of strategy in achieving organizational goals. And then we're going to review the key components of strategy planning, and then we elaborate on strategy consulting process, then itemize strategy tools, and then we'll also look at enumerating the challenges in strategy consulting and strategy planning, and then we'll look at trends and future of strategy consulting. Now, let me begin by saying that one of the core assignment of a consultant is strategizing. Whether you are into management consulting, accounting, financial and accounting consulting, medical consulting, engineering consulting, one of the major aspects of consulting is strategy, being able to strategize. And when we say strategizing simply means finding a way out of every situation, and doing it in the most cost-effective way, right? Doing it in the most cost-effective way. So whether, irrespective of the field you are, whether you're an educational consultant, a health and fitness consultant, or whatever, strategy consulting is for everybody, okay? So we're going to be learning the nitty-gritties involved in strategy development and strategy planning. Now, importantly also, one of the things you help your clients to do when it comes to consulting is to help them to see the future. Okay, your strategy should be able to help them to see the future. And that's why we're also considering strategic planning. Dealing with strategy consulting and not talking about strategy planning, that will be an incomplete section. So we are combining the two, looking at strategy consulting and then looking at strategic planning. Now, if you are an executive, in your organization, like you're a board member or you are a management staff, this session would be of immense importance to you, whether you have become a full-fledged consultant or not. And as I also mentioned in the morning, you could be a consultant internally or you could be a consultant from the outside. So whether you're an internal consultant or you are an external consultant, this course or this section would be a great advantage to you. So one more time, we're all welcome, and let's hit it running. Now, strategy consulting involves providing expert advice and guidance to organizations on their overall business strategy. Overall business strategy. And when you want to talk about overall business strategy, you will understand that there are different components that make up a business, right? Okay, so if you start from the top, you talk about leadership strategy, okay? Then you talk about functional strategies, then you talk about operational strategies. There's the different levels of strategy. You talk about corporate level strategy, right? Now, by the time you get to the corporate level strategy, you want to look at investment decisions, portfolio management, stakeholder engagement, investor management, and all of that. That's corporate level strategy. When you come to functional level strategy, you want to look at divisions of labor. Okay, you want to look at what is happening to the general view of marketing, what's happening to the human resources, what's happening to operations, what's happening to whichever aspects involved in your business. Okay, you want to look at them at functional levels. And then when you come to operational level, you want to look at tasks involved in each of the functional areas in your organization. You want to be sure that there is alignment, there is definitions that give birth to results when it comes to tasks that must be done, when it comes to activities that must be done daily within a business to give the expected results. Okay, so you could talk about the corporate level strategy, the business level strategy, the functional level strategy, and then you talk about the operational level or the task level strategies. Now, what this means is that as a consultant, you must have good understanding of business before you could talk about strategy consulting. You need to have good understanding of business management, okay, before you can talk about strategy consulting, okay? Now, if you have good understanding of business, the principles of business, whether you are invited to consult in the engineering firm or you are invited to consult in a medical firm, you understand that the principles of business are the same. And with that, you can introduce strategies that can help the organization move forward. All right. And also, it simply means you need to understand processes, business processes. Why a business environment or the principles of business might be the same. Processes in business might not be the same. Okay, the processes in different businesses might not be the same. For instance, the business processes in engineering might not be the same processes in medical. Okay, so in medical, they might be conducting surgery. In engineering, they might be conducting construction. Yes, the processes will be different. But when it comes to the principles of business, how business works, both of them will have the same principles. Okay, but processes will now differ. So apart from understanding business principles, that's the general overview of how businesses function, we also need to understand how the processes of those businesses that we consult for function. And that's why it is good you consult in domains that you have good understanding of both the principles and the processes. Okay, you have good understanding of both the principles and the processes, right? Okay, it is a collaborative process where external consultants work closely with the leadership of a company to analyze current challenges, assess opportunities, and develop effective strategies for achieving long-term success. Okay, so when you want to talk about strategy consulting, you're looking at long-term success, not just for the immediate, you're looking at achieving greater success with time. Okay, so you want to put up a roadmap that can help you, roadmap with defined activities that will help you get to the future. All right. Strategy consultants bring a fresh perspective, industry knowledge, and analytical skills to help organizations make informed decisions and navigate complex business environment. Now, let me quickly say that as a strategy consultant, one of your passion should be on capacity building. Capacity building. You must consistently pay attention to building competence and building capacity. Okay, we currently live in a knowledge world, a knowledge-driven world. So you must consistently pay attention to learning new things, new skills in your field as a consultant. For instance, to us in the consulting industry, we must pay attention to new trends that are coming up now. We talk about artificial intelligence. we talk about business analytics, we talk about data science, we talk about VR, and several of them. You need to pay attention to this technology-driven world, which has given birth to evolution of diverse kind of knowledge. So as a consultant, you must be well informed. You must have industry knowledge, you must have subject matter knowledge, and you must have vast analytical skills. This is very, very important. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay. Strategic planning, on the other hand, is a systematic and disciplined process that organizations use to define their direction and make decisions on allocating their resources to pursue this direction. Strategic planning shouldn't only be limited to organizations. Individuals should also undertake strategic planning adventure. Whenever I have the privilege to discuss strategic planning, I always tell people, take out time to plan your life. Don't just plan your organization, plan your life. It is from the inside that we can deal with the things from the without. If you don't have a plan for your life, it will be difficult to be disciplined enough to pursue after corporate plans. Okay, so first of all, set plans for your life. Set plans for your life. Okay, okay. Humorously, I used to tell people, plan for your debt. Plan for your debt. No, people don't like hearing about debt, but the truth is that debt will come one day. So plan to the point of death, and plan to after death. If you die, what happens afterwards? To what would you want people to remember you for? What legacy do you want to leave? Plan those things and make sure that you pay attention to them and do them. Put up strategies that will help you get there. Okay, put up strategies that will help you get there. All right. If you are good in personal planning, then you'll be very good in corporate planning. Okay. If you are good with personal planning, then you'll be very good at corporate planning. When you understand the importance of planning, you will plan virtually everything, including going to take your bed, including eating. You plan virtually everything. Okay. It involves setting goals, determining actions to achieve those goals, and mobilizing resources to execute the actions. Strategic planning is an ongoing dynamic process that helps organizations adapt to changing circumstances and stay aligned with their mission and vision. Anytime you begin to hear people say negative things or begin to dispense negative energy, it is a clear indication of absence of plan. Clear indication of absence of plan. So we must pay attention to planning. Okay. Now, what the importance of strategy and strategic planning in achieving organizational goals? Number one, it provides direction and focus. It provides direction and focus. One of the reasons, I'm talking personally now, individually, one of the reasons some people never have money is because there is no direction to put the money if it comes. I'll repeat this again. One of the reasons most people never have money, the rich will keep getting richer because they have a direction for which their resources will flow to and through. Okay? The poor never has direction of which resources will flow. Now, let me say this for those of us that know a little about money. Money will only come to those who have respect and regard for it. Money will only come to those who have respect and regard for it and ready to give it assignment for which it will return in multiplied folds. Those who always spend money without return on investment, money often don't come to them. Okay, so if you want to have resources coming to you, then you have to create direction and focus. And that direction and focus must be reasonable enough, must be compelling enough to satisfy human needs, compelling enough to impact the environment, impact the society, impact national development positively. Okay. Number two, competitive advantage. With strategy, you have competitive advantage. One of the statements I've been making long ago is that people with the best strategies will always win. So what determines our competitiveness is the quality of our strategies. What determines our competitiveness is the quality of our strategy. So the better your strategy, the better your achievement. If you're not achieving enough, then you may have to look at your strategy. Sometimes We set very big goals, but we are not anywhere near our goals. Then the situation is that you have to go back and look at your strategy. How am I doing it? Okay, how am I doing it? Okay, do I need to revise my action plans? Okay, then the next one is adaptability to change. Strategy and strategy planning help us to adapt to changes. Change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. But with strategy planning, we'll be able to adapt to changes. Now, there have been instructions going out on a large scale. I would say it's a large scale information, especially for those of us in Nigeria. If you want to make the most of 2024, you must have the best of the strategy to explore the opportunities that will come and create an alignment to harness those opportunities as they come. Oh, God. If you want to make the most, 2024, from the predictions going on, 2024 is possibly going to be one of the years where there will be economic downtime. There will be economic downtime, and it's going to be global. So the question is, what will you be doing differently to adapt to these changes as they come? Okay. What will you be doing differently to adapt to these changes as they come? What improvement will you be doing to your business? What improvement will you be doing to your career? Okay. Those are the things you must pay attention to. And you must write these things down. Okay. You must write your strategic plans and your strategies down so that you find out the ones that are working, and the ones that are not working, you rework them. Then you have resource optimization. The greatest waster I've ever seen is someone without a plan. The person that wastes resources the most is somebody that never has a plan. If you have a plan, you will become a very good resource manager, because you will channel your resources to the direction for which the resources are coming for. Okay. Should I quickly say something? Okay, this might not sound too good, but if you are in this class, for instance, you are an employee, you are underpaid employment, and you spend all the money you get from your paid employment, you spend all of it without investing in any other thing that can create sustainability for you, I will actually say you don't have a plan, or maybe your plan is ineffective. If you spend all that you got from your what do you call it now? From your paid employment on yourself without investing in any other aspect, and I could say you don't have a plan. Now, when I say investment, I don't necessarily mean big time investment. Okay, but you need to have a plan that could help you manage your resources. In the little resource that you have, do you have provision for savings? At least the basic form of investment is savings. Do you have provision for savings? Do you have provision for investing in your capacity so that you can earn more to make you more relevant? Do you have investment towards harnessing business opportunities? Okay. This is not like compelling you to do this, but it is important that at this level of your life, you should think of owning a company or co-owning a company. So if you don't have a company yet, do you have an intention of owning one or registering one at least before owning it? Okay, so what are the provisions you're making with your resources towards that? Okay, it is funny enough, you earn up to 500,000 in Naira equivalent in a month, or $500 equivalent in a month. And you think it will keep coming like that as a career person without investing in yourself, without investing into your future, by finishing all of it like that? Oh no, you need to think twice. If you're able to do this, then you would have managed your risk to some extent. So Strategic management also helps us to manage risk. Strategy and strategic planning help us to manage risk. Okay, it helps us to foresee risks. Okay, it helps us to foresee risks. Okay, quite a number of us never, in Nigeria, quite a number of us never anticipated that in a space of 24 hours, for instance, a price of PMS will move from 165 naira to 590 naira. That's like 3 to 4 times of the previous. Okay, 3 times plus. Okay, none of us envisaged that. But someone who never had a plan could be grumbling. Someone that had a plan, working on his strategies, would have something to cushion the effects of those challenges as they come. Okay? As it were, there are investments that you do that you will never touch. You will never touch until something touches the economy. And the investment that you have that no matter what happens, you don't touch them. You don't. Okay, then we have enhanced decision making, and then we have stakeholder alignment. With good strategy and good strategy planning, you have alignment. You know who to align with and who not to align with. Should I tell you something? Take this from me and keep it so precious to yourself. Association can be very destructive. Association can be very destructive. And association can be very constructive. If you've never paid attention on who you call your allies, you need to be very careful. Pay attention to who you call your allies, because alignment is essential for success. Alignment is essential for preserving the future. You are not a smoker, but your best friends are smokers. You're not a womanizer, but your best friends are womanizers. You're not an impulse spender, but all your best friends, they are impulse spenders. You are an investor, but all your friends are paid employed people. Check your alignment, check your relationship. Be sure that you are strategically aligned. Okay? You are always, in the clique of people you call your allies. Okay, you are the one always supplying to their needs. None of them ever meets your needs. Be careful before you run dry. Check your alignment with who you consider as associates, who you consider as alignment. Check those people around. There are people that you will have to change the position they occupy in your relationship level with them. Okay, all right, that's very, very important. Then the next one is measurable progress. Strategy and strategic plan help us to measure progress. Strategy and strategic plan help us to measure progress. All right, let's move faster. Why do strategy matters? Okay, so we've talked about competitive advantage. We talked about adaptability to change, and we've also talked about the long-term success. But let's look at more of them. Where do they play their role? For competitive advantage, as example, you have competitive advantage helping you in market positioning. With good strategy, you have good market positioning. With good strategy, you drive innovation and efficiency within your organization and also within yourself. Okay. Then we talk about adaptability to change, looking at environmental sensitivity. So with good strategy, you're not just looking at the business from the internal perspective, you're also looking at the business from the environmental perspective. In the morning, we talked about sustainability. So you're also looking at it from the sustainability perspective. All right. So you look at the environmental sensitivity issue, the external factors that could affect your business. Then you look at resilience planning. I think since COVID, one of the keywords that have become apt in management is resilience. Resilience. You must make up your mind not to fail. You must make up your mind to succeed, no matter what the challenge could be. You must make up your mind, no matter what. Okay, provided you're breathing, your company must not fail. The vision that you have must not fail. Okay, so you must have a resilient mindset. You must have a futuristic mindset that must keep you going. Okay, do you know how many businesses that closed since 2020? In fact, since 2020, globally, businesses, we have more number of businesses closing almost on daily basis. Some are merging, even the ones that are considered to be big organizations, some merge, some sell off. Okay, so, but you as a strategy consultant, you must understand the place of resilience. Resilience. Knowing fully well that these situations that are happening now, they are just a temporary, they are just for a temporary moment. You will have to adapt to the situations and create strategies that will keep you above the situations. Yes, we walked into this situation, or this situation came to us, but resilient strategy is telling us, while you are in this strategy, work yourself out of it. So it starts with the mindset first. If you ever give it, please let me say this, let me say this, let me say this, let me say this. Thank you for coming, but please listen to me. Don't kill your business with your mouth. Don't kill your business with your mouth. Some of us feel it doesn't matter. I can say anything to my business. I can say anything to my career. Don't kill your business with your mouth. Okay? They ask you, how is your business? Say, the government has killed us. How is your business? My employees have killed me. How is your business? The situation is not funny. If they ask you, how is your business? Great. How is your business? Awesome. How is your business? Always think of better ways to handle situations around your business and around your career and around your life generally. Don't pay attention to it now. The information that is fed to our mind that help us to reason, they are functions of conversations, functions of things we say, things we hear, things we see, things we touch, things we feel. So be mindful, guide your mind so that you don't kill your career and kill your business before time. More importantly, pay attention to resilience. Okay? Pay attention to unexpected challenges will come, but also expect to be unexpected. When an unexpected situation come around, use an unexpected approach to deal with it. Okay, and that's why we have thoughts around design thinking, deep thinking. Okay, now design thinking will help you. Deep thinking will also help you. Okay, so let's pay attention to that. Now, for the long-term success, we have the vision and mission alignment. Every organization must have a vision and a mission. Okay, vision and a mission. Your vision and your mission must align with your strategy, right? Or your strategy must align with your vision and your mission. You as an individual also, you must have a vision and a mission. Okay, aligning also with your strategy, right? Aligning with your strategy, aligning with your strategy. Okay. What I'm going to say now will sound funny, but let's assume that your vision is to be the best in your chosen field. Let's assume you are an engineer and you want to be the best electrical engineer in your time. And then 24 hours, out of 24 hours in a day, you use 18 hours to watch Man U and Liverpool and Chelsea. I'm sure that strategy will actually make you the most renowned. Or maybe that still being your vision, but your mission is to make sure you drink at least if you did not drink in a day, you drink like 12 bottles of beer in a day. I'm sure that strategy will definitely take you there. Now, another impressive strategy I think can also take you there is, for those of us that are married, you leave your wife and you have 10 side chicks. Don't worry, they will soon pick up all the whole flesh in your body and they will bring you to your designed destiny. So please pay attention to your vision and your mission. Make sure that they align to your strategy. Some of us are very funny. Your business is just 5 million, even if it's $5 million, and all you do is every week now you move from one hotel to another. Okay, you're doing tour. Don't worry, very soon you will land to your design destination. Okay, let your vision and your strategy be in tandem. Let your vision and your strategy be in tandem. Then you have the sustainable growth. Okay, your strategic plan should be able to drive sustainable growth. If it is not, then you have to review it. Remember that we say a strategic plan is dynamic, it's flexible. That means it's not a one-off thing. It's something you consistently review. Then you have the stakeholder value creation. Okay, as a visionary leader, you must always be a person of value. You must always be a person of value. You must always be a person of value. Always be a person of value. Okay? Your association, your interaction with people should create value. Your meeting people should create value. You should come to that point that people want to know you more, feel you more, be with you more. Okay? Never you allow yourself to become someone that people feel like staying with you is a waste of time. So always create value for anyone that is going to come around you. Okay? Now, quickly, key components of strategic plan. You have your vision statement, your mission statement, your values, and your SWOT analysis. Okay, so your mission statement gives a direction of where you want to get to. Your mission statement talks of how you're going to get there. Your values talks about the discipline you have to follow, the ethics you have to follow to get in there. And then your SWOT analysis then gives you the roadmap on how to get to your vision. Okay, so your SWOT analysis gives you opportunity to analyze your strengths, your weaknesses, and then establishes your opportunities and your threats. So what does your SWOT want to do? Your SWOT is unveiling to you possibilities and also unveiling to you threats and weaknesses that could stop you from getting to those possibilities. By the time you look at the possibilities and you look at your strengths and you look at the weaknesses and you look at your threats, it is easier for you to develop strategies that will compress your threats, strategies that will compress your weaknesses, and then enhance your opportunities and your strengths and your opportunities, right? Okay. Now, this place is long enough. It's long. These statements are long. So I'm going to cut quite a number of things. A vision statement outlines the long-term aspiration and goals of an organization or individual. It paints a vivid picture of what the organization aims to achieve in the future. The purpose is to provide direction and inspiration, guiding the organization and its stakeholders towards a shared and compelling future. So if you don't have long-term aspirations, perhaps it's time to start building one. A mission statement defines the fundamental purpose of an organization. That's defining why we must get there and then describing how to get there, all right? So it describes what the organization does, who it serves, and how it adds value to its stakeholders, all right? Now, the purpose that it becomes a guiding principle or it serves as a guiding principle, helping to shape strategies and decisions in alignment with organization's core purpose and identity, right? Then you have the values. The values are principally the core beliefs and principles that guide the behavior and decision-making of individuals within the organization. The purpose is that value creates cultural foundation, shaping the organization's identity, influencing its practices, and fostering a shared understanding of expected behavior. For everyone in this class, one of my recommendations is that you should take a course in strategic management. One of the courses that changed my life radically is strategic management course. In case you've not taken any course around it, I will encourage you to do so. And what a joy, we have such courses around here. So you could search through our website and get information around them and prepare for next year. Okay, prepare for next year. All right. SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool that assesses an organization's internal strengths and weaknesses along with external opportunities and threats. Remember, I said when we started this class, I said these discussions we're having today on these topics, we're having them on the premise that the people attending this class are people who have foundational information or already consulting. So we're just sharing thoughts and how to integrate this knowledge for better benefits. All right. So in case you're completely new, we might not delve deep into talking about how each of these processes and each of these components work. Okay, and that's why I'm recommending the course Strategic Management. It will be one that will take all the time to explain all of these principles we are talking. They will explain it in depth and then give you better understanding. Okay, that's if you are completely new to the concept of strategy and strategic planning. All right, but if you're not, I believe you are flowing alongside with me. Okay, so let's move on. The purpose of SWOT analysis is that it provides a comprehensive overview of internal and external factors influencing the organization. This analysis is crucial for developing strategies that leverage strengths, addresses weaknesses, capitalize on opportunities, and mitigate risks. For the sake of time, I would have asked us to do a very simple SWOT analysis, right? But this is going to be a take-home assignment, not to be submitted. Now, when you go back, I want you to take an assignment to review, do a personal review yourself. When you enter 2023, where did you start from and where are you now? Compare the goals that you set in 2023 when you started and compare where you are now. Are you below the goal level or are you on point or are you above? Now, if you are below, find out why were you below? Why didn't you meet up to the goals? If you are on point, find out also what strategies did you put in place that brought you to where you are. If you are above, if you exceeded the goal level, also find out the strategy. Do you know why you need to do this review? So that you will know which of the strategies are working for you. So that going 2024, you know the ones to drop and the ones to pick and improve on them. This is very, very important. Some of us achieve without necessarily taking the time to find out how did we achieve. So if you ever did any measurable achievement this year, any remarkable achievement this year, I need you to take a step back and ask yourself, how did I achieve? That question is very, very important. How did that question of how is what we are calling strategy. Okay, how did I achieve? Okay, how did I achieve? All right. And if you're going to do any strategy session for any organization, either by the end of this year or as the year is running up or early next year, what you want to find out actually is what were the goals that were set? How did we pursue it? Did we achieve? If yes, what were the strategies? Some of the organizations might not be able to know exactly what they did, but your interaction with them will review the unconscious or conscious steps they took to be able to get there. So the SWOT analysis gives you some of this privy information, and that makes you a smart consultant. As simple as SWOT analysis is, if you're able to make the most of it, it can make you a smart consultant. Did you get what I just said now? Don't just say SWOT simply means strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Find out how it works. Make good use of it. Use it in your strategy sessions, either with yourself, with your organization, or any other organization you're consulting for. Okay, if you're a strategy consultant, you do more of strategy sessions, you do more of product development sections, you do more of engagement sessions. Use your SWOT analysis. Okay, use your SWOT analysis. Then the next thing with there is values. Okay, so I've talked about values. You could talk about values and ethics. Then the strategy consulting process. Please, I will need to confirm that we are all still together. Please, if you can still hear me loud and clear, kindly type 22 in the chat room. If you can still hear me loud and clear, please kindly type 22 in the chat room. If you can still hear me loud and clear, please type 22 in the chat room. Okay. If you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly type 22 in the chat room. All right. So we've spent, we started by 3, and this is 10 minutes after 4. And like I said, it's a long ride. So I may have to stop somewhere. Okay. So let's do a very quick review of what we've done. What have you learned so far? In one sentence, what have you learned so far? You can unmute your mic and let's have a chat and then we go to consulting process. What have you learned so far? You can unmute your mic in 1 second. Tell us what you've learned. What have you learned so far? Unmute your mic or raise your hand, and then we unmute you. Then share with us. In a second, what have you learned so far? Are you learning something? Let's do that very fast. Okay, so a number of people confirm that they can hear me, right? Okay, so I will need you to also confirm that you've learned something. Okay, so what have you learned so far? If you raise your hand, we'll unmute you. Let's do that very fast, please. I know we have very smart people in the class. So what have you learned so far? Typing will take a long time. So let's do oral. So in this class, I have Benjamin, I have Damilola, I have Jume, I have Kevin. Oh, Uncle Kevin, you came to class. You're welcome. And then I have Lubis. I have Selome. I have Mohammed. I have Musa Doba. I have Najem. I have Oluchi. Omobemi. I have Omolara Selassie. Subuwale. Sunday. Jenna. Vivian. Okay, so Mohammed want to say something. So Mohammed, kindly unmute and let's hear from you. Mohammed, unmute please, and let's hear from you. Kindly unmute Mohammed.
Okay. Hi everyone.
Good day.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
This is Mohammed. I am speaking from Ghana.
You're welcome.
This just my take home from what you've presented so far. What I have learned is that it doesn't matter if you know all, no matter how skilled, no matter how good you are at what you do. If you don't have a plan in terms of your SWOT analysis, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, knowing the opportunities, you will not get anywhere. So having all the requisite skills, you need to have a plan in place. So it will help you chart a course to know where you are now and where you want to be in the next in the near future. So that's one take home I have had from this presentation.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. I think you've just paraphrased one of the statements that was made by Warren Buffett some times ago. Warren Buffett said, any dummy who cares to plan will succeed. But no matter how smart you are, if you don't plan, you will end up a failure. That is paraphrased from Warren Buffett. Any dummy who cares to plan will succeed. But no matter how smart you are, if you don't ever pay attention to planning, you will meet the other side of failure. All right. Can we take another one? What have you learned so far? Can we quickly have very brief reviews? You've confirmed that you can hear me. Kindly confirm that you've also learned something, at least to encourage those of us that are here, so that we know that we are not wasting your time. Okay, kindly confirm that you've learned something. What have you learned so far? Okay, we are not seeing any information in the chat room, and we are not seeing any hands raised. Our time is running. Okay, Amalara, over to you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, I wanted to contribute about the knowledge. You said to us that a consultant must be versed in principles and the processes of the business that is in question, or the consultancy that he or she plans to do. And that in in doing this, we must be strategic in conversing or in having dialogue with the clients, because then some of them are not open to new trends. They're not open to knowledge about their industry, and they just do things like they always do it. So the idea that a consultant must have vast knowledge in principles and in the processes of the business is very key in strategic planning. That's my take from it. Thank you.
Mrs. Abalara, even if that's the only thing you've learned from this class, I would give you an A.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, because as simple as that statement is, it is key. Thank you so much. Okay, so now that you've given me conviction that you've learned something, let's proceed. The strategy consulting process, you have the assessment and analysis, formulation strategy, or strategy formulation, implementation, they have monitoring and evaluation. Let's quickly run through them and see what we have. For assessment and analysis, the objective is to conduct a thorough examination of the organization's current state, including its internal operations, external environment, and competitive landscape. The activities here will involve the internal analysis of the organization's strengths, weaknesses, resources, and capabilities. The external analysis will involve examining the market trends, industry dynamics, regulatory factors, and the competitive landscape. Then we'll have the stakeholder analysis that will involve identifying and understanding the needs and expectation of each of the key stakeholders involved. The output of this assessment will be a comprehensive understanding of the organization's position and factors influencing its performance. So you know its current state, you know exactly where they are. Because when you know where they are, it will be easier for you to determine, or for you to decide or guide them to knowing where they should be. This is very, very important. Some organizations have high organizational strength, high organizational resources, high internal capabilities, but they are underutilizing them. Okay. Some have market opportunities because of their innovations and efficiency. They have good opportunities within the industry, and they even have good competitive advantage. Okay, but they are underutilizing those things. Some have very good stakeholders, very good investors who are ready to do the needful, but they don't know how to relate with those stakeholders to be able to make the most of the opportunity of that relationship. So when you're conducting your assessment, these three areas are key activities: the internal analysis, external analysis, and stakeholder analysis. Then moving forward, we have the implementation. The objective of implementation is to execute the choosing strategy effectively by aligning resources, processes, and activities with the strategic plan. The activities here will involve resource allocation, which is allocating human, financial, and technological resources in line with strategic priorities. Strategic priorities. And then communication and change management. Communicate the strategy across the organization and manage any necessary changes. Some organizations, it's only the board that knows the strategy. No other person knows the strategy. Okay, so the management keep going to the board. The operations people keep going back to management, and there is stagnation. All right. They have execution of initiative, implement specific projects and initiative outlined in the strategic plan. One thing about strategy is that strategy launches us to projects. Strategy launches us to every strategy is a composition of projects. Okay, strategy is a composition, or it contains projects. Okay, line of activities that must be done to deliver a result. Okay, to deliver a result. Now, the outcome of implementation is tangible actions taken to bring the strategic plan to life with a focus on achieving short-term milestones. Now, I want us to do something very, very fast. Very, very fast. And I'm going to give you just 1 minute to that. Now, 1 minute is too much. 30 seconds. I want you to write in the chat room 3 major goals that you're setting for yourself in 2024. 3 major goals that you're setting for yourself in 2024. I want you to write that very fast in 30 seconds in the chat room. Please, can we do that very fast in the chat room? Just write down 3 major goals that you want to achieve, 3 most impressive things that you want to see as results in 2023. Okay, just write them down. Just type them in the chat room. 30 seconds, your time is counting. Okay, so I've received 2. We've received 2. I'm still waiting for more. More. Everyone that is hearing me, just 3 most important things that you want to achieve. 3 most important things you want to achieve. If you can write them down, that means they are really, really in your heart to do them. Okay, they are really, really in your heart to do them. Okay, I'm still expecting. Okay, I have another one coming in. Okay, so for the ones that I've received, thank you so much for sending them in. So Omobemi said, be more intentional about self-development. That's 1. Be more strategic in the achievement of my set plans. That's 2. And build more network. Okay. So to make it much more feasible, you need to assign expected outcome for each of them. So if you say, be more intentional about your self-development, which areas do you want to improve yourself? You need to be specific so that when the results are done, you can take good. Then be much more strategic on achievement of your set plans. What steps do you want to take on that? You want to be sure about that. Okay. Increase your income, relocate to Europe. That person that is located to Europe, you're not going anywhere. All of us will be here. Okay. Start a PhD program. Don't worry. That one is a done deal. Another person said, improve my income sources, further my professional exam, and register my business name. Very simple, straight to the point. Advance in career and education, establish a firm, commence an official mentorship program. Okay, so one of the reasons why you write down your plan is that it will provide the guides to you. So with what you've done now, you've given yourself some kind of steps. And please don't just stop in the class. Take it outside of the class. Get a note.
We have someone, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, Dr. Benito. We have somebody that sent direct message to me.
Type them down. Type them out, rather. Then print them. Put them where you'll be seeing them regularly to know what you're up for. Okay. That'll become part of your implementation. Then monitor and evaluation. Regularly assess the progress of strategy implementation and make adjustments as needed. Activities here will include performing or performance measurement, establishing key performance indicators to measure progress towards strategic goals. For instance, person that wants to build more network, KPI ask you, okay, so in a month, what is the number of people you want to add in your network? What is the definition, the criteria that you use to measure those people? The person that wants to relocate to Europe, KPI is asking you, draft out your measurable index. What will you be doing and seeing that will make you believe that you're getting close to relocating to Europe? Do you need to write an exam? Do you need to apply for a course or apply for a visa or something? Do you need to save money to a particular level? Those things become your KPI. The closer you get to them, the closer you are to getting to your ultimate goal, right? The person that want to write an exam, your KPI should be, okay, when are you buying your registration form? What time are you going to set for study? Okay, how much is involved to do that? The closer you are to monitoring all those small aspects of the major goal, the closer you are to getting there. So every assignment you're giving yourself now, the person that wants to do personal development, you're going to give yourself a schedule. Okay, so for every quarter, what do I want to see in my life as an improvement that will make me believe that I've developed myself? How many books am I going to read? How many trainings am I going to attend? How many workshops will I go for? Am I going to advance my education? Okay, so you have to be specific. Okay, that's part of strategic planning. Strategic planning makes your work simple. You know exactly what you're expecting per time. All right, this is very important. So you develop KPIs in those lines. Then your feedback and learning, monitor and evaluation, your feedback and learning. Like we say, you have your successes and you have your failures. So if you have goals, let's assume the person that is interested to be more intentional on personal development or self-development. Now you said to read one book in a month. Let's assume you said to read one book in a month in the direction that you've chosen. And then you find out that in that month, a book of 100 pages, you couldn't finish it. Your feedback and learning should ask a question of why couldn't I finish just 100 pages in 1 month? And it's not A4, it's A5, and yet I didn't finish it. What happened? Is it from the author's perspective? Is it from my own perspective? Is it that I'm not learning the right things? Am I not well motivated? Find out the causes and find a way to deal with them. Then strategic review, periodically reassess the strategy in light of changes in the internal and external environment. The output here will be informed insights on the effectiveness of the strategy, allowing for continuous improvement and adaptation. Okay, is somebody learning something? If you're learning something in this area, please type 22 in the chat room. And if you're not learning anything, type 00. If you're learning something, please type 22, because these areas we are mentioning now, this is where strategy becomes a result-oriented event. Strategy becomes a result-oriented event. If strategy is not result-driven, then there is no need for that strategy. Okay, strategy should be result. Everything we are writing down here now, we are giving you practical ways to turn your strategy to results. Now, if you don't understand them, ask me question. Ask us question, we will answer you. Everything we are teaching you here, there are things we apply to ourselves and we see results. Okay, so if you have any concern of any kind now, ask me. I'm here. The president is here. Damilola is here. Ask us. The one I couldn't answer, Dami will share his insight. President will share his insight. And some of our fellows are here too, so they will also share. Okay, all right. So I've talked about assessment. Sorry, let me go back a bit. I've talked about assessment and analysis. I've talked about strategy formulation, implementation, and I've talked about monitoring and evaluation. Okay, now benefits of strategic consulting. For those of us in strategy consulting, benefit number one, objective external perspective. Organizations get to have objective external perspective towards issues without bias. They have specialized expertise coming in, and they have accelerated decision making. Now, let me go back to what Mrs. Omolara said. You can't provide perspective if you don't know what is happening in the industry. So when we still talk about being vast in knowledge, we are not joking about it. We are telling you the reality. We are telling you what you must do. How will you stay year in, year out as a consultant? You never went for any conference as regards to the area of your concern. You never went for any training. You didn't even read, not even a book. And you don't have any newspaper or any newsletter you subscribe to where it's okay, I get information on trends. And you say you want to provide objective external perspective, or you want to provide objective perspective. Where will you get that from? Now, let me say this also. No matter the certificate you have right now, no matter the knowledge you have right now, even if you have your PhD, make it a priority to attend to workshops yearly, at least 2 workshops in a year, at least. Now that technology has made it so that you can attend even for free, make it a priority. When you go there, you find out, am I still, what I know, is it still relevant or is it still gone? At least in a month, make priority, or even if it's not in a month, in a quarter, that's 4 months. In 4 months, at least read one book. Read one book that will provide you insight to trends. This is very, very important. That, you know, there is a canker worm now that I've noticed. I've been sharing this in all of my classes. This canker worm is called the social media. Some of us spend hours in a day on social media. Some of us need to uninstall Facebook, uninstall TikTok, uninstall Instagram, just leave LinkedIn. Huh? Do you know what I'm just saying now? Because these things are reducing the little expertise that we have. They are now sapping it. Because you spent 3 hours on a comedy channel, and Facebook will never stop giving you more. And by the time you know it, you're drifting. So let's pay attention to things that matter. Huh? Don't recharge your data. Don't buy data, and then at the end of the day, 6,000 naira data, you've used 50% of it on comedy. The question is, strategically ask yourself the question. You know, you can deliver yourself. Ask yourself the question, what is the economic benefit of 2 hours, 3 hours in a day? As I'm saying this thing, I'm talking about adults. I'm talking to adults. Why I'm saying this is because I've also found myself in that shoe before. I had to go and uninstall all the social media. So I use my system now for social media. At least I won't go and sit down in a corner and then on my system I say, what are you doing? I say, I'm watching comedy. No, comedy is good. All of those things we do, they are good, but let them not sap the one you have. Let me tell you something. This is very, very important. I've discovered that in the learning process, the learning that has the highest impact, okay, to our minds is the ones we see. Visual. One thing about seeing is that as your eyes is seeing, your mind is recording. And your mind only reasons based on the information available to it. So before you go to sit down and say your reasoning, have you asked yourself the question, what really entered through your eyes to your mind? The information, some people have ended up where they never expected because of what they've been watching. So be careful. Be careful so that you don't lose what you have. The little knowledge that you have now, don't lose it to 3 hours of social media, 2 hours of social media. 30 minutes is even too much. Try as much as you can. Uninstall it. You don't need it. If it is not for business, uninstall it. I'm telling you now, you don't need it. The one you need, I've told you, you need LinkedIn. At least you don't go there to see things that draft your mind away. Focus on LinkedIn, the one that will build your professional network. That's the one you need. The one that you can have 5,000 friends on Facebook and none of them has ever contributed to your professional development. So why do you have them? Accelerated decision making, as I'm saying this now, uninstall that Facebook. If they do a cost benefit analysis on your social media platform that you've installed. If the cost of maintaining them is more than the benefits they are providing, if they are taking from you mentally, physically, and otherwise than what they are providing or what they are, please take a second and uninstall it. And don't install it until you find why you must install it again. Do you know what I'm saying now? Use your system. Use your system for Facebook. Use your system for TikTok. Use your system for use your system for Instagram. Okay. You will thank me later for what I'm telling you now. Okay, you will thank me later for it. Okay, for objective perspective, insight from outside the organization, we've talked about these things. Impartial assessment, of course, the knowledge and experiences you keep gathering will help you in making impartial assessment. The strategic recommendations. Knowledge is key to recommendation. Knowledge is key. And not just knowledge, understood knowledge. Understood knowledge is key to recommendation. Understood knowledge is key to making meaningful recommendations. Understood knowledge. Then specialized expertise. You will get expertise from industry knowledge, analytical skills, global perspective. Don't just keep yourself to what is happening only in your locality and your country. Think beyond, go beyond, review beyond. We have now gotten to the era of globalization. Okay, digitization. Everywhere is Internet of Things. There are international communities you can belong to also know what is happening in the global communities. Don't just focus yourself. You are a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers, so you think you've arrived. You know nothing. You've not gone anywhere. Look at outside. Are there global societies of engineers that are making wave? Join them. You will pay the dues. Join them and find out what's happening there. I was discussing with somebody, Damilola to be specific, this afternoon. There are courses that are not available in Nigeria at the moment. There are courses that are not available in Africa at the moment. But with your international affiliation, you can have access to those courses. By the time those courses will come to Nigeria or come to your country, you will become a pioneer. You become a needed person. Let us stop all this recycling of knowledge that is no longer helping us. Every day you're learning economics that is no longer. Find out new trends around economics and learn something from it. Find out new trends in your field and look at it from the economic global perspective. What are the innovations? What are the trends? What is happening there? Bring it and become a champion. Not that you're recycling the same thing. It's more than 75 years, 100 years, we are still recycling the same thing. How many people has the Karl Marx theory been helping in recent time? So let's do something that is current and recent. In the era we are in the era of futuristic thinking, no longer backward thinking. If the education you are having now is only helping you to think backwards, you don't need it. Get the one that will help you to think forward. Did you get what I just said now? If the knowledge you have now is only helping you to think backwards, throw it away. Get the one that will help you go forward. Think forward and go forward. Don't say I did not tell you. Accelerated decision making, data-driven insights, rapid problem solving, efficient resource allocation. These are the importance that you will get when you have good strategy. Okay? And these strategies are all driven by quality knowledge, quality information. Now, listen to me and pay attention to this. Find out the trends currently now going on that will help you. If you've not paid attention to data analytics, data science, business analytics, business intelligence, I think you need to take time and start paying attention to them. You don't come out today and say you're a chartered management consultant and then you don't know any of these things. So exactly where are you consulting from? What are you going to be consulting on? How are you going to come up with decisions? These things are very, very important. Let's pay attention to them. Then on the knowledge transfer, you have the skills enhancement and training and development. I've said it over and over again. In your 2024, from 2024 upwards, make sure that you have a plan for personal development. We have entered the era where information can be gotten for free. So even if you don't have all the resources to go for trainings, make provision to go for the ones that are free. And let me also encourage each and every one of us here. Make provision for at least one local training and one international training. Whether you're going to be physically present or virtually present, make provision for one local training and at least one international training. A training that you will share global perspective and a training you will share national perspectives. Both of them will join to making you better in knowledge. The risk mitigation, identification of risk, and contingency planning, both are important. Common challenges in strategic planning, you have lack of alignment, insufficient data, and resistance to change. I will have to stop it at this point. Every other explanation, you can read it up when you get the material. We say strategy should align with your goals and the objective, your vision and your mission. Where there is no alignment, forget about strategic planning. Now, where there is insufficient data, it will be difficult to make decisions. It will be difficult to predict. It will be difficult to forecast. Okay, the resistance to change. Resistance to change is a foundational issue. Most people find it difficult to change, all right? It's difficult to change. So you must conquer the challenge of resistance to change, okay? Every one of us at some point, if not every other point, will have to change level. We resist at some point. Okay, so please, when you get these materials, take your time and add some of this other information to what we have. Overcoming the challenges. If you want to overcome the challenges, engage with your stakeholders, continue. That's effective communication with your stakeholders. Then try as much as you can to utilize technology. We have come to technology-driven world, so don't run away from technology, okay? Continuous improvement, very, very important also. Okay, so like I said earlier, these materials are self-explanatory. When you get them, please run through them. Strategies for engaging with stakeholders. Make sure that your strategy for engaging stakeholders are inclusive and your communications are clear and you address concerns, not beating around the bush. For utilizing technologies, please pay attention to data analytics. Even if you don't know, even if you don't have perfect understanding of it, get little knowledge of it, at least to help you interpret data, okay? Then collaboration platforms and simulation models. All of the goals and aspirations that we want to have today, they can be achieved if we are able to make good use of technology, okay? Then on continuous improvement, have regular reviews, both internally and externally. Let people give you review so that you know where you are. And then feedback mechanism, have a structured feedback mechanism. And then the learning culture also, put up a good learning culture for continuous development. All right. Tools and frameworks for strategic consulting and strategic management. Sorry, I'm trying my best to make sure that we round up on time. Tools and frameworks. So you have this balance scorecard, Porter's 546 PES2 analysis, and the McKinsey 7X framework. Let me repeat again that the discussions we're having here is on the purview that the people here are people who have experience in consulting or they are in consulting. Now, if you are new to it, you feel free to ask your questions, because some of the things we are dealing with here, we are not going in depth, all right? And as I've recommended, please feel free to take a course on strategic management, and we'll help you provide insight on all of these things. Now, for balanced scorecard, the purpose of a balanced scorecard is a performance measurement framework that helps organizations translate their strategic objectives into a set of balanced key performance indicators across 4 perspectives: financial, customer, internal processes, and learning and growth. So when you take a balanced scorecard, you just have 4 quadrants to it, 4 quadrants to a balanced scorecard. What is the your strategy, as it were? What is its implication on finance, both inflow and outflow? What is its implication on customers, both acquisition and retention? What is its implication on internal processes, driving innovation, driving efficiency, driving effectiveness? What is the implication of your strategy on the internal processes? What is the implication of your strategy on learning and development? You have to look at all of this to balance the strategy and be sure that, yes, it is what you need, right? So your strategy should be viewed on financial perspective. What is the financial perspective in inflow and outflow? All right, what is the financial perspective? Then you want to look at customer perspective. How does it support customer satisfaction, customer acquisition, customer experience, customer retention? You want to be sure. How is your strategy impacting in that domain? Because that will eventually translate to what you call revenue. All right? Then you have your internal processes: efficiency, effectiveness, innovation, What is the quality of your process? The strategy, how will it impact on the quality of the process? Will it give assurance? Will your processes give assurance to your customer? What is the impact of the strategy on the internal processes? And then on the learning and development, what is the impact of the strategy on your learning and development? The application here, it enables organizations to monitor and measure performance in a holistic way, ensuring that strategy goals is in Harvard School of Business. This framework analyzes the competitive forces within an industry to assess its attractiveness and profitability. The 5 forces include the threat of new entrants, the bargaining power of buyers, bargaining power of suppliers, threat of substitute products or services, and intensity of competitive rivalry. These are the things that make up the Porter's 5 forces. So when you are analyzing these 5 forces, it helps you to also build your strategy and also help you develop your strategic plan. The application is that Porter's 5 forces help organizations understand the dynamics of their industry, identify potential threats and opportunities, and develop strategies to position themselves competitively. All right. Then you have the PES2 analysis. The PES2 analysis, the PES2 stand for political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental. So when you're running a PES2 analysis, you're running analysis of the impact of the political environment to your strategy, and aligning your strategy to meet up with the political environment. That's what, I used to tell business people, always ensure that in the network of people you have as stakeholders, have politicians there, or people that have political influence, have political people, have legal people, have security people, okay, have financial people, okay. These people have good set of people, have technological people, okay, have good people who will advise you on the environment and climate. Very, very important. In fact, I believe PES2 should be able to help you to know the kind of people you bring in the network of persons you call your associates. PES2. So you put them according to the provisions of PES2. The politicians, this is where they are, and these are their roles, and these are the expectations we have from them. The economic people, these are their roles, these are the place they are: social, technological, legal, and environmental. Okay. By application, it provides a comprehensive understanding of the external forces shaping the business environment. PES2 analysis helps organizations anticipate and respond to changes in the external landscape, guiding strategic decision making and risk management. The McKinsey's 7X framework that was developed by the McKinsey consulting firm. This framework identifies several internal factors that must be aligned for an organization to be successful. The 7X, you have strategy, structure, systems, skills, staff, style, and shared values. These are the McKinsey's 7X framework, all right? The 7S framework is used to assess the internal alignment of an organization and diagnose areas where adjustment may be needed. It is particularly useful during periods of organizational change, helping to ensure that all aspects are in harmony. Then you have the SWOT analysis again. Then you have the scenario planning. The scenario planning helps you to assess or analyze multiple scenarios for unforeseen situations, unforeseen circumstances. And by using scenarios, you can anticipate issues that may come up and then deal with them, being prepared for them. Then you have the value chain analysis. In the morning, when we talked about ethics, we also talked about value. The value chain talks about examining the value that your organization is creating and delivering, and also the value is capturing from consumers. So your value, the value you are giving, should be commensurate enough to what customers are returning back to you in return in terms of benefits and profits. All right? Okay. Then we have the ANSOF matrix also. The ANSOF matrix provides a framework for organizations to consider growth strategies by analyzing potential combinations of existing and new products in existing and new markets. By application, it helps organizations diversify their strategies by providing a structured approach to growth, including market penetration, market development, product diversification, and product development. Okay. All right. For the want of time, I'm going to be stopping at industry trends, but please, when you get the materials, feel free to go through all of them. Okay, feel free to go through all of them. All right, very, very important. Now, in the current trends in consulting and strategic planning, we've been talking about them, but let's review them again. You have the digital transformation. Technology is taking over almost every aspect of consulting. So you need to align yourself with that. Then technology is becoming consulting is becoming much more agile. Okay, much more agile. As we're in this class now, I'm confident some people are doing some other things, okay, and they are still listening to the class. That's part of the agile nature of consulting. Consulting has become much more agile. Okay, so put up also agility in your consulting. Then you have also ecosystem strategies on innovative strategies that will manage the environment, innovative strategies that will manage the business environment and harness opportunities as they come, opportunities of partnerships, opportunities of collaborations. The ecosystem strategy will help you manage all of those things. They have the customer-centric strategies, of course. In the current business realities, businesses are moving to customer-centric strategy. So as a consultant too, you must move towards customer-centric or client-centric strategies. Then we've talked about data-driven over time, data-driven decisions. Okay, so your decisions will be data-based, okay, informed decisions. Then we've talked about resilience planning. This is also a new trend, resilience planning. Don't allow your business or your career or your skills to die because of challenges, okay? Use PESTO and find out how to navigate those challenges as they come. Okay. They are focused on innovation. There is much more focus on innovation. And there is not just innovation. We're having much more of integrated services these days than unilateral services. Integrated services. You could get a service that will come to you as a bundle, one service that could solve multiple problems. And it's technology that is driving all of this. So for instance, with your phone, you can snap, you can video, you can take notes, you can edit, you can send mail. So there is an integrated product, okay? And services are also taking in like dimension. So when you are focusing on innovation or when you're going through innovation, also find out that make sure that your innovation is creative enough to suit the current needs. Then we'll talk about health and well-being initiatives. Going back to corporate social responsibility, we all must pay attention to corporate social responsibility. Then in comparative sustainability and ESG factors, please permit me, for the fact that we've dealt with this in ethical consulting, please, I will recommend that you go to YouTube and visit that video on ethical consulting, and then please feel free to read or watch through these areas. It will help. Okay. And like I said, I will have to call it a time here. Okay, let's round up with tips. I have about 7 minutes to go. Tips for effective strategic planning. There must be clear communication. There must be flexibility and adaptability of plans. And there must be regular review and updates. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time out with us today. It has been awesome. It has been great. Thank you so much. Now we'll take a few questions and then we'll call it a timeout. Please make sure you take your attendance. If you're interested in the certification, please make sure you take your attendance. And then tomorrow will be another wonderful day. Tomorrow we'll be dealing with process in operations consulting and business continuity. And then in the afternoon, we'll be dealing with value-based consulting, and total quality management. Don't miss any of these sections for whatsoever reason. Technology has made it that you can join us from anywhere. You can join from any device. So please feel free to join us tomorrow, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. I'll be handing over to the coordinator now to coordinate the questions, and they'll be out here in a moment. Thank you.
All right. Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Banito. Please, I want every one of us to clap for
Mr.
Dr.
Damilola, are you
Banito.
still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please go ahead.
All right, please. I will want everybody to help us celebrate Dr. Banito in the chat room. And I believe we can all agree that this class has been so instructive, informative, and educative. And if that be the case, we must learn how to appreciate people when it comes to that. We can see that our time has been well maximized. And of course, it seems more of personal affairs now that if you want to be a consultant, you also need to find ways to coordinate your affairs before others will see and call you to come and help their organization and all. All right, so if you have any question before we close, kindly raise your hand and unmute from your hand. If you have any question, raise your hand and unmute yourself and ask. Okay, so if you have any question, please raise your hand and you'll be called to ask your question. I have some people asking different questions in the chat room that are we going to get the materials and all. We've explained this before now that if you want to get the materials, you have to pay for the certification, but much more we explain further. So if you have any question in regards to this class presently, please unmute from your hand and ask. If you have any personal question based on your career or you're trying to sort one particular organization problem out, you could not do that, please ask in few seconds. Anybody? Do you have any question? All right, it seems there is no question. Thank you. That's an excellent presentation. Thank you. All right, everybody, they are sending their greetings from chat room. So it seems we do not have anybody that want to ask any question in regards to this class. So I would call on Dr. Banito to also brief us about the certificate and the slide as well, because people are requesting for it. And of course, we can also go back to the YouTube channel to go through those two courses, the one we did in the morning and this particular one, and go through it over and over. If there's something we miss, we continue from there tomorrow by God's grace. So if you still have any question, we are still giving the grace to people that may ask question. Kindly unmute from your hand. Okay, so certificate and membership has been posted. These are the details we need. Let me quickly run through it. So certificate of completion, if you are IIPM members, or if you're an IIPM member, you have to pay 25,000 naira. That's $50. All right. If you are not a member, you are paying 35,000 naira, $75. Professional certification and membership is in different categories. We have associate certifications, and that is 100,000 naira. You must have 7 years experience before you can become a certified associate management consultant or certified associate member. And the other category is senior certification. I mean, I feel most of us that we joined this season, we actually enjoyed discounts. It's way higher than that before now. But the fact that this is a period where we are giving 50% discount out, we can maximize the opportunity. So we have senior certification, category A, full member, 120,000 naira. And you must have 8 to 14 years experience. Certified management consultant. We have full member certification as well. And the last category, which is category B, we have fellow. And that is 150,000 naira. you must have at least 15 years and above experience. You must have been working as a consultant, or you must have been in the field where you are working at the moment for the past 15 years if you want to be a fellow. So you will get certified management consultant, and you will get fellow certification. So these are the things that we need to know. Some of us that we are requesting for slide of these courses, the 2 courses we've taken now, you have to pay for the certificate in order to get the slide. And it has been well explained that for members, 25,000 naira, for non-member is 35,000 naira. So if you still have any question to ask, please, you can unmute from your hand and go ahead. Thank you. If you want more clarity, please go ahead and ask. Mr. Strobowale, do you have any question? Mr. Strobowale Olariwaju. If you have any question, please. Okay, so at this juncture, Dr. Banito, I feel we are all good. We meet tomorrow by God's grace. We still have a few minutes. If we have anybody that wants to ask any question regards to this class or for more clarity, kindly unmute from your hand and ask.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone too. Okay, just to help clarify some things here. Now, if you want to get certificates of completion in each of the sections we're taking, is 25,000 naira if you're a member of IPN. If you're a non-member, it's 35,000 naira. So we have 4 sections. You want to have a certificate of completion in ethical consulting and sustainability. As a member, it's $25,000 or $50. As a non-member, is $35,000, $35 or $75. And then if you want to have a strategy consulting and strategic planning, as a member, is 25,000, as a non-member. So it goes that way. That certificate of completion, you've done this program, you've completed it here. You have an evidence. And of course, you understand that all of our certifications have global relevance and global appreciation. Now, apart from the certificates of completion, if you now want to get professional certification, you want to get certified as a management consultant, we have 2 levels. You have the associate level. If you're going for the associate level, you must have at least, or perhaps your number of years, your working experience should be 7 years and less. Okay, at most 7 years. All right, at most rather 7 years. So 7 years, that's less than or equal to 7 years. So from 1 year to 7 years, you can apply for associate membership certification. So if you're paying 100,000, you have 2 certifications that will be given to you. You have the certified associate management consultant and certified associate member of the institute. Now, if you were to do this independently, the associate certification is 150,000 and associate member is 100,000. You can go to our website to verify. All right. But we are doing this, this more than 50% discount. Okay. So for all the people who registered for membership induction this season, you can take this privilege, have 2 certifications for just less than the cost of 1. The same thing applies for the senior categories. You have the category A for full members, those with 8 years to 14 years experience. You will get the certificate of senior certification as a certified management consultant, and then full membership certification. And then category B for fellows, 15 years and above work experience. You have the CMC certification and then the fellow certification. One more time, all the certifications are of global repute, all accredited, so you can use them anywhere in the world. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Tomorrow, don't miss any of the sections for whatsoever reason. Please, on your system or on your device, put your earpiece, whatever thing you're doing, just listen to the lectures. It will be of immense help to you. Okay, it will be of immense help. Our first lecture tomorrow is on process and operations consulting and business continuity. Okay, we need that particular course like never before now. Process and operations. So tomorrow we'll look at things like deep thinking, we'll look at things like design thinking, we'll look at strategic thinking. How do you introduce that to businesses? Okay, and then we'll look at the other side of business continuity. Why will your business fold up when there is a way out? Why will your career fold up when there is a way out? Why will you be jobless when there is a way out? Those are the things we'll be discussing tomorrow. You will get some knowledge that will fire your bones to go and do better. Then we'll now look at value-based consulting. Every one of us aspiring to be consultants, don't miss that section. Don't miss the section for whatever reason. At least you evaluate whether you as a consultant now, whether you're offering value, because some of us actually think we are offering value. Meanwhile, the client is not seeing what you're doing as value. So how do you evaluate value? How do you know what to call value and what not to call value? And how do you do total quality management so as to retain your clients? Instead of shrinking, you rather retain and increase more, have better referrals. Okay, so that's what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. By the time we are done with these 4 sessions, you are entitled to applying for any of associate level or senior certifications level. If you are not going to be available for all, then please, the certification requires that you get to attend 100% for you to apply for professional certification. If you won't be available to attend all, then you can go ahead and apply for the certificate of completion. At the same time, our applications, we have our accreditation, one of our accreditation from the Chartered Institute of Management Consultants USA. So if you want to become a Chartered Management Consultant, you will also qualify to apply. Chartered Management Consultant from Chartered Institute of Management Consultant USA is $400. So if you are interested in getting that particular certification, Chartered Management Consultant is $400. So you can go ahead and for associate level is $350. Then for full member for senior levels is $400, right? $350 and $400. So you can go ahead and do the one that is best suited for you. Okay. One more time, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and it's going to be great. One more time, any question, any comment, any contribution before we hit the end meeting button? Any comment, any question, any contribution before we hit the end meeting button? Okay, so since there is none, thank you so much for your time and looking forward to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, make sure you bring someone alongside with you so that you will learn alongside with your friends. See you tomorrow. Do enjoy a wonderful evening. God bless you. Thank you so much, Damilola, for helping us out.
You're welcome, sir.